Before you color, you need to go over all of your lines with thin black Sharpie. When you're going over top of your straight lines, make sure that you're using a ruler. So you'll line it up with the existing line and go right over top. When you're done going over top of all of your straight lines, you also need to go over top of your arched lines. What you'll notice is that my lines are pretty sketchy, meaning they're not a nice, neat line. So when you're going over top of them with your marker, make sure that they are nice and neat and no longer sketchy. When you're done, you're ready to erase all the leftover pencil lines that you have. So go over top of your entire piece, making sure to erase over top of all the lines you just drew. Now that you're done with this, you're ready to begin coloring. When choosing colors, it can be a little tricky. If you see right here, this is an example of how I want you to color yours. So here's my example. I'm going to show you how to actually create this next to it. But first I want to talk about colors. So you're going to choose 3 different colors for your entire project. One color needs to be for the middle. So if you notice, this yellow is straight up through the middle. The other 2 colors are going to be the ones that you use along the outside. However, these all have to blend well with the middle color. So my orange has to be able to blend well with the yellow, and my teal or my blue-green needs to blend well with the yellow as well. So since we're on your practice one, this is a good time to kind of pick and choose the colors. So you want your 2 outer colors to be relatively dark. So I wouldn't want to choose the brightest orange or the lightest orange that I have, and I wouldn't want to choose the lightest blue that I have. So the middle color needs to be your lightest one. So when I'm comparing these, the yellow is lighter than the other 2. So what I would do is, if I thought these 3 colors worked well together, I would just practice in one of these sections. So for example, I would take orange and I would just color along here, gradually fade it to lighter, and then I would take the blue and color along here, nice and dark, and then fade it to lighter. Once you've practiced those, you could take your yellow and, pressing hard, color right alongside there and go over top of them. Now if it blends well and these look like they go together, that's perfect. So let's say, for example, we were trying to do purple. Let's do, this is more like a red-violet. We'll do the lighter version of it. Gradually faded, lighter and lighter. Okay? And then go back over with the yellow. So you're actually going to be going over the whole thing. So actually, this looks pretty cool. So this is what I'm talking about, practicing things to see how they blend well together. You don't have to choose those 3, but right now I could choose these 3. So we've got a deep blue, a deep violet, and more of a red violet. So again, you can come around to another one of these. So here you've got these as an example. I think these 3 would work really well together as long as this middle section shows up a lot brighter and stands out more compared to these other 2. So you may end up doing a section like this with these colors only to find that it's not really looking 3-dimensional because the middle is not turning out bright enough. One other thing that you could do if the middle's not turning out bright enough is take white and go over top of your middle, and this will also help sort of blend some things in. So that's kind of one of the options there as well. So what we're going to do is, once you choose your three colors, your middle color and your two outside colors, you're going to keep going along here and rotating it. So in this section I did orange, blue, orange, blue, orange, blue, and over here I'm going to follow it. So instead of the first section being orange, I'm going to have the first section be blue. And then you'll just kind of rotate. So you're going to take the blue and you're going to go right along the very edge. And down here where it's really small, you want to actually only have a small amount showing on the edge. So we're going to skip this one because that's going to be orange. And we'll do blue over here. So I'm pressing nice and hard along the outside. And if you notice, I'm coloring in the same direction as the arch. All right, so I'm not coloring straight across. I'm not coloring up and down. I'm coloring in the same direction as the arch here. So on this side, I'm coloring that way. On this side, I'm coloring this way. Okay? So up here, same thing. Same thing. Okay. Then what you're going to do is you're going to come in very lightly. So I'm not going to press hard at all. You're going to come in very lightly and leave a little bit of white in the center because we want somewhat of a white cone left in the center. That's where we're going to put our lighter color. Okay. We'll come in with the orange, same thing. After you've done this, you'll have a dark section and a light section and white straight up through the middle. Right where the dark meets the light, you want to focus on that area and very lightly press down until you notice that the color starts to blend and fade from dark to light instead of being such a contrast, such a difference. So if you look from here to here, that's a big difference. So again, I'm going to come right in between these two areas where dark meets light. I'm going to press down a little bit, and if you notice, I'm going over it again and again to help fade that a little bit. So now it looks a lot faded, a lot more faded. So I'm going to do that for all of them. So once you have faded all your colors, you're left with that white center. This is when you're going to come in with your lighter color and you're going to press down hard all along the middle. Now you're going to go over top of each of these colors. Again, still pressing hard. So what you'll notice is as I move along through these, this orange goes into blue over here. We'll do orange, blue, orange, blue. And you will be graded on that. So again, the easiest way to do it is think, if I used orange in this first one, blue needs to be in this first one. Then orange, then blue, then orange, then blue. Okay? The last thing that we need to do is add the black. So I have the black in this one, but not here. So we're going to take the black, and again, in the same direction as the arches, you're going to press down very hard and create a small little line of black. So now I'm going to go over here, do the same direction as the arches. Now notice I did not color straight up and down like this. If you do that, it's going to create a hard line and it won't be able to blend very easily like I blended it here. So now we need to gradually blend or fade that black into the color. So when you're doing that, you're going to focus on where the black meets the color and very lightly go over top of that area a little bit very lightly. You might need to do it a little bit more on the orange than on the blue. But again, very lightly. You'll go over top the orange a little bit to help fade that. But you can already tell the difference between this side and this side. Right here, we can definitely see the difference between where black starts, where it ends, and where the orange begins. So lightly go over top of that. Again, going in the same direction as the arches. And you're going to go along for the rest of these areas and blend them in. If you need to come back in, let's say you covered up too much of the orange, you can always come back over top of the black a little bit, and bring that orange out a little further. Sometimes this will help blend the black a little bit more. And there you have it. And sometimes this assignment takes a little longer. One of the biggest things with craftsmanship when I'm grading is your ability to come back in, just like I came back over top of that black with the orange and the blue, to come back in to perfect what you've already done. So this will take a little while. Think about how long it just took me to do this, just that one piece. So take your time and make it look really good.